Okay, so for the development of the master schedule, there are certain things that we had to take into consideration before developing this. So our criteria, we have to consider the grade levels that we have and that we will have, and we have to had to look at what all classes will be available for the students. We also have to take into account for staffing. How many staff members do we have? What are the staff members teaching? We also have to think about the timing. So making sure the schedule fits into everything that goes into the daily routine. We also have to think about what type of movement will be around the school building and ensuring that the class sizes are where we wanted it to be. We also make sure that the grouping criteria that we have for the students, we had to uh, set set that up before developing the the schedule. Okay, so now the effect on the instruction. So this allows for the instruction to be maximized. We're really focusing on increasing the students' learning. The we have groupings of students now. So they're tailored to the students, and we're trying to meet their specific needs. Okay, so we started grouping the students based on their standardized testing scores, the behaviors that we have, and just a general knowledge of the students and staff, and just seeing what will work. Okay, we have to make sure that staff are placed in the right position to be able to maximize their time and the learning and growth of the students. Okay. Uh, for our needs for the campus, we're adding one staff member for each department in each grade level, so we can fill the needs of our growing campus. Okay, the so the what determines the class sizes are pretty much the amounts of students that are enrolled in, uh, because the students are grouped in cohorts. So we're trying to keep it at 12 to 15 students per class, but there are also things you have to consider, such as students being added in the middle of the year, and just students that may leave, or so we're trying to keep them between 12 and 15 students in each classroom. So we we previously had uh, two groups of for each grade level. Now we're stretching that out to three, and we believe that this will actually, since they are grouped by criteria, that this will actually increase their learning efforts uh, and maximize it, because we're trying to develop an advanced program for the students. So the step-by-step process started in December. Started by looking at the testing scores of the students. We also discussing the needs of the upcoming year, and allow student before we even started the schedule, students were allowed to pick the courses that they wanted to take during the next school year. So we had to see what was available for them and approved for them to be able to take. And there is uh, a scheduling system in inside in the computer database, so we're able to insert based on the needs and based on what we what courses we had available for students. Okay, now the focus, as I've said, is on maximizing our students' learning. So they are grouped into their cohorts, and these cohorts will allow students to be with students in, that will uh, increase their efforts in the classroom. So we're really trying to maximize their learning efforts this year. And as far as collaboration, there is there will be the schedule does allow for teacher collaboration, and I will discuss that more in detail of how that is set up. So as far as an analysis for this master's for this observation, the policies and the practices that are currently in place does protect the instructional time and learning by really analyzing the state of the campus and organizing the schedule based on what will bring about an increase in student learning, and we are really trying to focus on collaboration. And this is evidenced by considering factors such as the student scores and the behaviors and the staff that we do have. Uh, so now, as far as teacher planning, each department is given 1 period a day for conference. Each department will be on that conference period together. Everybody has the same time. This time is allocated towards collaboration to get teachers working together, and it will also be facilitated by the dean of instruction, just to ensure that everybody in each department is collaborating with one another. Like I said, we are trying to maximize the student efforts. Uh, I do believe that this process went well. I was able to learn the valuable info about master schedule, the master schedule in such a short time. And I would change this process by adding asking more in-depth questions about the step-by-step planning process. I believe that I could have asked a few more questions about that would make that more clear and concise. Um, the the surprising info that I did find out was that um, students are grouped into a criteria. It allowed me to realize that the scheduling isn't randomized. That there is a purpose for the way that the schedule is set up. And so, as an administrator, I think this will allow me to take multiple factors into considerations before I plan anything.